My opponent was Ethan Sullivan, a 400-year-old vampire and the master of Cadogan House, one of 3 vampire houses in Chicago. He was the vampire who changed me, rescuing me from a vicious attack one spring night. Now he was also the vampire who made me whole. I was the 28-year-old former graduate student he'd shaped into an immortal warrior, and I loved having the opportunity to show him exactly what he'd created. Tonight, that meant learning to battle with not just 1, but 2 gently curved katanas. Vampires loved katanas, preferring swords to guns, primarily because vamps were an ancient and snobby people convinced to believe in katana's superiority to other weapons by a samurai who'd once roamed Europe. History aside, wielding 2 katanas was a tricky venture. The katana was an elegant weapon, and brandishing it was supposed to be an elegant exercise, as much a dance as a show of cleverness and strength. That wasn't easily accomplished with 2 swords, which required learning how to rebalance my body and not trip over my own weapons. Fortunately, even Ethan was having trouble. Scowling, he picked up the sword he'd dropped onto the tatami mat on the floor of the house's basement training room. The vampires on the balcony who watched our practice with eager eyes cheered as their hero, the master of their house, prepared to fight again. And they weren't the only ones watching. My former teacher of swordcraft, Catcher Bell, a mutual friend and sorcerer, was absent from tonight's festivities, busy with other work. We'd found a replacement, albeit one who was less than impressed with our initial efforts. "That was damned ungainly," said the auburn-haired vampire in front of us. Gray and Navarre were the city's 2 other vampire houses, and our teacher was captain of the Gray House Guards. Jonah was tall, handsome, and was my partner in the Red Guard, a clandestine organization created to ensure the House and Greenwich Presidium, the ruling body for the North American and Western European vampire houses, didn't overstep their bounds. We weren't technically a part of the GP anymore, having seceded when the group became too oppressive, but there was little doubt they still had the power to make our lives miserable. Guarding the Guardians was never a bad idea, in my opinion. Ethan had accepted my RG membership, but he was still working on accepting my partnership with Jonah. He preferred my loyalties remain solely with 1 vampire of the male persuasion, him. They'd reached an accord about me after working out their aggression in a sparring match at the house, even if they weren't exactly the best of friends. Ethan still scowled at Jonah's comment.